The VIP corridor at New York Presbyterian feels too bright, too clean, like the lights are trying to erase what just happens. Evelyn Carter lies still, hands folded over a hollow ache that refuses to make sense. A nurse speaks softly, eyes kind, voice practiced. "I'm sorry. We did everything we could." Evelyn stares at the ceiling, waiting for the words to change. They do not. The door slams open so hard the latch rattles. Grayson Vance storms in as if he owns the air, jaw tight, eyes red, suit flawless except for the tremor in his hands. He does not look at the four, or the bruises on her wrist from the blood pressure cuff. He looks at her like she is an enemy. "Why?" he says, each syllable scraped raw. "Why would you do it?" Evelyn's mouth is dry. "Do what?" He crosses the room in 3 steps and grabs her wrist. Pain flashes. She flinches. "Do not play innocent." He snaps. "You know exactly what you did." A thin stack of photos hits her chest and slides to the sheets. She looks down. A blurry image of a woman in a coat near the trash room. A hand dropping something into a bin. Another photo of her at a cafe, smiling with a friend. A caption underneath, typed, neat, cruel. She does not want the baby. The Vance rules are a cage. She will end it. Evelyn's throat closes. "This is fake." She whispers. Grayson laughs, sharp and cold. "Fake? You think I am stupid? I never threw away my prenatal medicine. I never said those things. You said them." His grip tightens. "You lived in my house, were my name, took everything I gave you, and you still did this." Evelyn tries to sit up. The movement sends a wave of dizziness through her. "Grayson, listen to me. I was walking in the garden, and then my stomach cramped. I called for help. I begged them to save the baby." Her voice cracks on the last word. "I wanted our child." Grayson stares at her as if he hears a language he hates. "Olivia told me the truth," he says. The name lands like a stone. Evelyn's thoughts jump to Olivia Petrov's soft smile, the careful hands that always insist on helping. The tea, the capsules, the way Olivia says, "Let me take care of you, Evelyn. You should rest." Evelyn's heart pounds. Olivia. She brings my medicine. She makes my tea. She is the only one who touches those bottles besides me. Her voice rises, desperate. "Grayson, she is lying to you. She sets me up." Grayson jerks his hand away as if Evelyn's skin burns. "Enough," he says, disgust thick in his mouth. "Olivia is kind. Olivia is loyal. She has loved this family since before you even existed in my life." Evelyn's eyes sting. "That does not make her innocent. It makes her better than you." His gaze is ice. "You are cold. You are selfish. You are not fit to be a mother." The sentence hits harder than any slap. Evelyn stops breathing for a second. She waits for him to take it back. He does not. "You do not get to decide that," she says, voice shaking. "I do." Grayson straightens, towering, control returning like armor. "We are done." A doctor knocks and pauses, reading the tension like a warning sign. "Mr. Vance, she needs rest." Grayson does not turn. He tosses a folder onto the bed. "Divorce papers. Sign them. My lawyer will handle the rest." Evelyn stares at the folder as if it is a second death certificate. "Grayson, please," she says, and hates herself for it. He finally looks at her face, not her actions, not the photos, just her. His expression does not soften. "I married a woman I thought could carry my future," he says. "I was wrong." He walks out. The door closes. His footsteps fade. Evelyn lies there shaking, a widow to a child she will never hold, and a wife to a man who just buries her alive with words. In the quiet that follows, her fingers curl around the edge of the folder. Her tears fall without sound. She tells herself she will not beg again. She tells herself she will survive. But tonight, survival feels like a cruel joke. 2 days later, the discharge papers are signed, the hospital bracelet is cut off, and Evelyn is pushed toward a life that no longer has a door with her name on it. Grayson does not come. His attorney does, carrying a thick envelope, and a smile that never reaches his eyes. "You will sign here, here, and here," the attorney says in the hospital lobby. There are people around them, but Evelyn feels exposed, like every stranger can see the bruise in her chest. A check slides out of the envelope, heavy with zeros. "This is generous," the attorney adds. In exchange, there is a non-disclosure clause. No interviews, no statements, no accusations. Evelyn looks at the check. Money with no warmth. Money that cannot rewrite the sentence. Not fit to be a mother. She picks up the pen. Her hand is steady, which surprises her. She signs her name without pausing. Evelyn Carter. Not Evelyn Vance. Not anymore. I do not want the check, she says. The attorney blinks. Excuse me. I do not want anything from him. She slides the paper back. The attorney hesitates, then shrugs like he has seen pride before. As you wish. Evelyn walks out of the building alone. Outside, Manhattan traffic roars, uncaring. She has no car. Her phone screen shows missed calls from unknown numbers, and nothing from Grayson. She does not call him. If she calls, he wins twice. She checks into a small hotel on the edge of Midtown, where the carpet smells faintly of old smoke. The room is narrow. The window looks at a brick wall. Evelyn sits on the bed and finally lets the silence swallow her. For days, she drifts. She eats crackers because they are easy. She stares at her hands because they feel like they belong to someone else. At night, she dreams of a heartbeat monitor that goes flat, and she wakes with her palm pressed to her stomach, as if she can rewind time by force. On the 7th night, she opens a cardboard box she has carried since her parents' funeral. Inside are old photographs, a worn leather notebook, and a sealed letter addressed to her. Her father's handwriting is sharp, confident. Evelyn breaks the seal. Sweetheart, if you are reading this, it means the world has turned on you. It always does, sooner or later. Remember what you are. There is more. Numbers, notes, deals her father never had time to finish. A list of names, some crossed out, some circled. A reminder at the bottom, underlined twice, never let grief steal your leverage. Evelyn presses the notebook to her forehead. She thinks of her parents, gone in a car accident that never feels accidental. She thinks of the relatives who took the family holdings, while she is still in shock. She thinks of how she hides, choosing marriage as a safe room, believing love can shield her from the world. She is wrong. She sets the notebook on the desk and opens her laptop. The next morning, she calls a number she has not used in a year. The voice on the other end is startled. Ms. Carter, are you alive? Evelyn swallows. I am. I need you. By the end of the week, she meets 3 of her father's former people in a quiet diner in Queens. They are older. They watch her carefully, measuring whether she is still the girl who runs from the boardroom. Evelyn meets their gaze without flinching. I want my life back, she says. And I want the truth. One of them, a man named Howard Lynn, slides a folder across the table. I kept this for you, he says. Inside is a record of accounts, trusts, and a dormant shell company her father set up under her name. Evelyn's pulse steadies. This is not comfort. This is a weapon. I need capital, she says. You have some. Howard's voice is low. And you have something more valuable. You have the face the Vance family throws away. Evelyn's nails dig into her palm. Good, she says. Let them underestimate me. That night, she stands in front of the bathroom mirror and cuts her hair to her chin. The long, soft waves that Grayson likes fall into the sink like shed skin. She washes her face and watches her own eyes in the glass. They look clearer, colder, alive. She whispers to her reflection. I will not die in that hospital room. And somewhere in a penthouse on Park Avenue, Olivia smiles into her phone and says, she signed. The first time Evelyn returns to a room full of money, she does not wear pearls. She wears a black suit with clean lines and no softness, and she keeps her expression neutral as she walks into the charity gala at the Metropolitan Museum. People turn. Some recognize her. Some pretend they do not. A few whisper her old title, MRS. Vance, like it is a story with a tragic ending. Evelyn accepts a flute of champagne and does not drink. Across the room, she sees Grayson Vance in a gray tuxedo, surrounded by investors and cameras. He looks polished, controlled, and untouched by the wreckage he leaves behind. At his side stands Olivia Petrov, hand on his arm like she has always belonged there. Evelyn's stomach tightens. She does not move toward them. Not yet. A man steps into her line of sight, tall, calm, with a smile that is polite but sharp. Samuel Cole. He is younger than most of the sharks in this room, but he carries himself like he is the one who feeds them. Evelyn Carter. He says softly, as if they are old friends. Evelyn lifts her chin. Samuel Cole. He tilts his head. You remember me. My father talked about you, she says. He said you learn fast. Samuel's eyes flicker with something like respect. He also said you are the real talent. Evelyn almost laughs. She has not heard praise without a hook in a long time. What do you want? She asks. Samuel's smile does not change. I want Grayson Vance to stop swallowing the city. Evelyn looks at him. And what does that have to do with me? It has everything to do with you. Samuel replies. Because he breaks you, and then he pretends you never existed. That is his pattern. Evelyn's fingers tighten around the glass. You know about the hospital, she says. Samuel's voice drops. I know enough. And I know Olivia Petrov is not what she pretends. He pauses. Your father once saved me from a disastrous bet. I owe him. I cannot pay him back, but I can help you. Evelyn studies him. She sees no pity in his face, only calculation and a controlled anger that matches her own. I need proof, she says. Real proof, not rumors. Samuel nods. Then we work together. They step into a quieter hallway lined with marble. Samuel opens a file on his phone and shows her a screenshot. A pharmacy invoice, oddly formatted, with a delivery address tied to a P.O. box. Olivia uses a private courier. He says, I have been tracking her expenses for months. She is skimming money from Vance Development through a vendor scheme. Evelyn's pulse quickens. How do you know? Samuel shrugs. Because I am his enemy. I watch him. Evelyn breathes in, then out. Can you get me access to the vendor records? Yes, Samuel says. But I need something too. Evelyn's eyes narrow. Say it. I want a seat at the table when Vance Development bleeds. Samuel says. Not because I am kind. Because I am ambitious. Evelyn nods once. Fine. I am not looking for a savior. I am looking for results. They shake hands, firm, not romantic, not tender. A pact. Evelyn does not approach Grayson that night. She lets him see her, though. She stands where the lights catch her hair, where the cameras can frame her. She watches the moment he notices. Grayson's smile falters for half a second. His eyes lock on hers. Confusion flashes, then irritation, then a flicker of something like guilt that he kills almost instantly. Olivia follows his gaze and stiffens. Her fingers squeeze his arm. She leans close and whispers something into his ear. Grayson frowns and looks away, like Evelyn is a stain he refuses to acknowledge. Evelyn smiles, small and cold. Good. He still thinks he can erase her. When the gala ends, Evelyn leaves with Samuel, not in secret, not in shame. A photographer catches it. The flash is bright. The headline will write itself. The next morning, financial blogs run a photo of Evelyn Carter stepping into a black town car with Samuel Cole. The caption reads Vance's ex-wife returns, arms linked with his rival. In Olivia's penthouse, she throws the phone against the wall. And for the first time since the hospital, Evelyn feels the ground shift beneath her feet, not under her, but under the people who hurt her. Evelyn does not attack with rage. Rage is loud. Rage is sloppy. Evelyn attacks with patience. Samuel arranges introductions. Howard Lynn opens doors that still remember her father's name. Within a month, Evelyn registers a boutique investment firm under her family shell company. It is small on paper. It is invisible, at first. That is the point. She hires one investigator, then two. She pays for silence and speed. She tells herself she is doing it for the truth. She does not say the word revenge out loud, but it sits in the room with her every night. The first real break comes from a delivery driver. The investigator finds the courier company Olivia uses, and the man who handles her packages. He is young, nervous, and too honest for his own survival. Evelyn meets him in a quiet parking lot under an overpass. It is cold. The city hums above them. I do not want trouble. The driver says. Evelyn keeps her voice gentle. Neither do I. I want the truth. You delivered something to Olivia Petrov. A sealed box. 2 months ago. Do you remember? The driver swallows. I deliver a lot of stuff. Evelyn slides a printed screenshot across the hood of her car. The driver looks. His face drains. I remember that one. He whispers. She paid extra. Cash. What was inside? I do not open packages. Evelyn waits, letting silence press. The driver looks away. It rattled. He admits. Like pills. Evelyn nods. She is careful, so careful, not to smile. Would you testify to that? He shakes his head hard. No, she knows people. Evelyn takes out her phone and plays a short clip. It is Olivia's voice from a recent call, recorded through a legal consent line Samuel sets up. The clip is brief. Olivia laughs and says, if she keeps fighting, I will finish her. I already did it once. The driver stares. Evelyn leans closer. You already live in trouble, she says quietly. The question is whether you live in it alone. The driver exhales, shaky. What do you need? A statement, a date, a signature, nothing more. Evelyn says. We protect you. Samuel can, and I can. The driver nods. The statement is one brick. Evelyn needs a wall. So she walks into the lion's den. She texts Olivia from a new number, acting like a broken woman. I need to talk, please. I cannot live like this. I miss him. Olivia replies within minutes. Of course. I feel sorry for you, Evelyn. Meet me at Brighton Cafe at 2. Brighton Cafe sits near Central Park, all warm wood and polite music. Evelyn arrives early and chooses a corner table. A tiny recorder rests inside her handbag, already on. She practices her breathing. She practices the tremble in her voice. Olivia enters like she is on stage, cream coat, perfect hair, smile sweet enough to fool strangers. Evelyn, she says, pity dripping. You look tired. Evelyn lowers her eyes. I am. I cannot sleep. Olivia sits, pleased, and orders tea. Grayson is busy. Olivia says. He has moved on. You should too. I cannot. Evelyn whispers. I made a mistake. Olivia's lips curve. You did. Evelyn's hand shakes on purpose. I want him back. Tell me what to do. Olivia leans in, voice soft like poison wrapped in velvet. You want the truth. She murmurs. The truth is, you never belonged. You were a phase. Evelyn swallows, forcing herself not to flinch. What about the baby? She asks, keeping the question small. Olivia's eyes sharpen. Then she smiles slow. That baby was an inconvenience, she says. And you were weak. Evelyn lets her eyes fill with tears. Olivia relaxes, enjoying it. You do not know what it takes to keep a man like Grayson. Olivia continues. You think love matters? Men like him love control. Evelyn whispers. Did you do something to my medicine? Olivia laughs quietly. Do not be dramatic, she says. Evelyn presses, just a little. But you were the one who brought it, every day. You were so attentive. Olivia's smile widens. I was attentive, she says, voice dropping. Because I am careful. I plan. I win. Evelyn's heart hammers. She needs Olivia to step over the line. Olivia sips her tea and says. I did not push you down the stairs or anything. I am not a cartoon villain. She chuckles, pleased with herself. I simply made sure your body did what I needed. A little adjustment. A little dose. And then I let Grayson do the rest with his mouth. Evelyn's nails bite into her palm under the table. She keeps her face crumpled, devastated. Olivia reaches across and pats her hand, faux comfort. Stop chasing him, Olivia says. You already lost your place. You lost your child. You lost his respect. Take your money and disappear. Evelyn lifts her head, eyes red, voice thin. I did not take his money. Olivia blinks, annoyed. Then you are stupid, she says. And I love that. It makes this easier. Evelyn nods, tears falling, performance perfect. She stands, grabs her bag, and leaves without looking back. Outside, the air slices cold. Evelyn walks 3 blocks before she allows her face to change. She stops under a bare tree, pulls out her phone, and calls Samuel. I have her, she says, voice steady now. Samuel exhales. Good. Evelyn looks at the gray sky. It is not enough, she adds. Samuel's tone sharpens. What else do you need? Evelyn answers without hesitation. I need to ruin them at the exact moment they think they are untouchable. Vance Development's IPO Roadshow is the biggest event of the year. The ballroom at the Plaza Hotel is packed with investors, executives, and reporters hungry for a good story. A massive screen glows behind the stage, looping glossy footage of skyscrapers and promises. Grayson Vance steps up to the podium and smiles like a man who believes in his own legend. He talks about growth, stability, and vision. He talks about building a future. Olivia stands near the front row, dressed in a shimmering gown, chin lifted, eyes bright. She looks like she already wears the title Mrs. Vance, even if the papers are not signed. Evelyn watches from the back, in shadow, beside Samuel. She wears the same black suit, the same controlled calm. Her heart beats fast, but her hands do not shake. Samuel leans close. Once you start, you cannot stop. Evelyn nods. I am not stopping. Grayson finishes a paragraph and gestures to the screen. At Vance Development, he says. We believe trust is the foundation of every partnership. Evelyn steps forward. The first security guard moves toward her. Samuel lifts a credential badge and murmurs a name. The guard hesitates and steps aside. Evelyn walks down the aisle as heads turn. A few gasps ripple like wind. Grayson freezes mid-sentence when he sees her. Evelyn? He says, voice caught between anger and disbelief. What are you doing here? Evelyn reaches the stage and takes the spare microphone from the stand. She does not ask permission. Hello, she says to the room. Her voice carries, calm, Cutting. My name is Evelyn Carter. I was married to Grayson Vance for 1 year. I lost my child in a hospital bed while he called me a monster. A stunned hush drops over the ballroom. Cameras lift like predators waking up. Grayson steps toward her, face dark. This is not the time. Evelyn looks at him, expression flat. You are right. It is not your time anymore. She clicks a remote. The screen changes. Audio plays. Olivia's voice, clear, smug. I simply made sure your body did what I needed. A little adjustment. A little dose. The room erupts in shocked murmurs. Olivia's smile shatters. She stands up, hands trembling. That is not real. That is edited. Evelyn clicks again. A shipping log appears, then a signed statement from the courier, then photos of packages, then emails showing vendor payments routed to a shell company tied to Olivia. Samuel steps onto the side of the stage and hands an envelope to a reporter in the front row. The reporter's eyes widen. Grayson turns to Olivia, stunned. Olivia, what is this? Olivia's lips part, but no sound comes out. Evelyn speaks again, voice sharp now. While I was grieving, this woman moved into your home and moved money out of your company. She says. And you let her, because you preferred a lie that made you feel powerful. Grayson's face goes pale. He grabs the microphone from his own podium. This is a private matter. Evelyn laughs once, short. You brought it into public the day you humiliated me. Today you finish what you started. She clicks again. A set of financial documents fills the screen. Fake entries. Altered invoices. A pattern that any regulator will smell in seconds. The investors in the front row exchange looks. One of them stands and walks out. Then another. Phones come out. Messages fly. A journalist shouts. Mr. Vance, did you falsify records? Another shouts. Is your company under investigation? Grayson opens his mouth and closes it. His perfect words vanish. For the first time, he looks small. Olivia tries to rush the stage. Security blocks her. She screams, voice cracking. She is lying. She is insane. She wants revenge. Evelyn turns and looks at her, eyes empty. I do want revenge. Evelyn says. I also want justice. They are not the same, but today they hold hands. A commotion breaks near the doors. 2 men in suits enter with badges, speaking to hotel staff. The air changes. Samuel whispers. They moved faster than I thought. Evelyn does not blink. Good. Grayson stares at Evelyn, horror dawning, grief and guilt and anger mixing into something that looks like panic. Evelyn. He says, voice raw. Wait, please. Evelyn steps closer so only he can hear her. You called me cold. She says softly. Look at me now. She hands the microphone back to the stand, turns, and walks down the aisle. Cameras chase her. Flashes pop, reporters shout questions. She does not answer. Behind her, Grayson stands on a stage that is no longer his, while his empire cracks in real time. 2 weeks later, Vance Development is a headline with teeth. The IPO is suspended. Partners pull out. Regulators demand explanations. The board turns on Grayson like wolves. Olivia Petrov is arrested on charges that stack high enough to bury her. She tries to cry on camera, tries to look gentle, tries to blame everyone but herself. The city does not buy it. Not anymore. Evelyn does not celebrate in public. She builds. She signs deals. She buys back a piece of her parents' legacy, one asset at a time. She sleeps better, not because she forgets, but because she no longer feels trapped. On a cold morning, she arrives at her office building in Hudson Yards. The lobby is sleek, modern, guarded. Her name is on the directory now, not as a wife, but as a founder. A commotion stirs outside the glass doors. Evelyn sees it before the staff does. Grayson stands on the sidewalk, hair uncombed, coat wrinkled, eyes hollow. He looks like a man who has been awake for days. When he spots her, he steps forward, then drops to his knees so hard the sound carries through the glass. People stop. Phones lift. The scene is instant fuel for the internet. Evelyn walks out anyway. She stops 2 feet from him and looks down. Please. Grayson chokes out. His voice is hoarse. Evelyn, I did not know. I swear I did not know. Evelyn's face does not move. You did not know. She repeats, letting the words hang. Grayson nods hard, tears spilling. I was blind. I was stupid. I listened to her. I hurt you. I hurt our baby. His hands shake as if he wants to grab her ankle, but he holds back like he is afraid she will shatter. Tell me what to do. I will do anything. Anything. Evelyn inhales slowly. She thinks of the hospital room. The folder on her bed. His voice saying not fit to be a mother. Stand up, she says. Hope flashes across his face. He begins to rise. Evelyn stops him with 2 quiet words. Not for me. Grayson freezes, half kneeling, half standing, confused. Evelyn continues, voice even. You want a task that makes you feel redeemed. She says. There is no task. There is only the consequence. He swallows, desperate. I loved you. Evelyn nods once. You loved what you could control. Grayson shakes his head violently. That is not true. Evelyn's eyes narrow, not angry, just clear. Then why was it so easy for you to believe I would destroy our child? She asks. Why did you choose the story that made me a villain, instead of the one that made you afraid? Grayson opens his mouth. No answer comes. Evelyn feels something inside her shift. Not pain, not hate, something closer to finality. She speaks softly, but the words are absolute. I lose a child, and you punish me for it, she says. You do not get to crawl back when the truth embarrasses you. Grayson sobs, shoulders shaking. I am sorry. Evelyn watches him like he is a stranger. Sorry is not a time machine, she says. A gust of wind cuts between them. Evelyn pulls her coat tighter and looks past him, to the street, to the city that keeps moving. Samuel appears at the door, standing a respectful distance away. He does not interrupt. He only waits. Evelyn looks down at Grayson one last time. This is the last thing I will give you, she says. My silence. Because I am done speaking to you. She turns and walks back toward the entrance. Grayson reaches out, fingers brushing the air behind her, unable to touch what he broke. Inside, the warmth of the lobby wraps around Evelyn like a boundary. Samuel steps beside her. You okay? He asks quietly. Evelyn pauses, then nods. I am not okay, she says. But I am free. Samuel does not argue. He simply says. Then we keep going. Months pass. Evelyn's firm grows. Her name appears on panels, on business magazines, on lists that used to scare her. She funds scholarships for women who start over after loss. She builds a foundation in memory of a life that ends too soon. One evening, she stands on a rooftop terrace with the skyline spread out like a promise. Samuel hands her a glass of sparkling water. To survival, he says. Evelyn clinks her glass to his. To choosing myself, she replies. Far below, the city glows. Somewhere in that glow, Grayson walks alone, a former king without a throne, learning that regret is not a currency. Evelyn does not watch him. She does not need to. She breathes, steady and deep, and lets the night air fill her lungs. Ashes remain, but she is no longer the one burned.
Thanks for watching. Follow for more romance stories.